What is marital property and what is separate property? If I kept all of my money in one bank account and my spouse kept all of his money in his bank account, doesn't that make it separate property? No. Lawyer Google is wrong, I promise you. Separate property is property that I owned prior to the marriage, and I can prove that I owned it prior to the marriage. So, hark back to the day you got married. Did you save all those bank accounts? Did you open new accounts once you got married so that you could clearly delineate, this is what I had prior to the marriage and this is what I acquired during the marriage? Any asset that you acquired from the day you said I do until the day you file your complaint for divorce is marital, irrespective of the way you titled that asset, except footnote, inheritance. That we treat completely differently as long as we didn't commingle it. And you've now said, oh my gosh, Lawyer Google is a liar. I'm totally confused, but it's okay because you're going to call my office and we'll work it all out. I work hard. I paid the entire mortgage for my house. Doesn't that make it more mine than my spouse's? Why can't I have 80% of the equity in the house and my spouse get 20% of the equity in the house? My goodness, he sat on the couch and he played video games. Why does he get half? Well, he's typically getting half because we're an equitable distribution state. It means we divide our assets equitably. It often means equally, irrespective of whether I worked and paid down the entirety of the mortgage and he sat on the sofa and played video games. Debt. What do we do with it? Is it all in? Is it out? What do we do with debt in a marriage? It all depends. It depends on how did we accumulate this debt? Is it credit card debt because I charged a boiler, a microwave, and a new refrigerator for the house? Is that in the pot? What if I got plastic surgery? Is that debt subject to equitable distribution in the marriage? What do we do with our student loans? I went back to school during the course of the marriage. Shouldn't my spouse have to pay down my student loans? It really is fact sensitive, and a skilled lawyer can help you work through that process. Why is dividing debt so fact sensitive, and why is it so complicated? Well, let's take an example where maybe I stayed home during the course of the marriage. I stayed home, I took care of the children, and my spouse went out and worked. And somehow, over the course of time, we accumulated $200,000 in credit card debt. Now we're getting divorced. Wouldn't a judge just say, well, you pay $100,000 and your spouse pay $100,000? Well, if I've been the stay-at-home parent, I'm just now going back into the work market, and my spouse is the one that's been working all along. It's going to take me a long time to come up with 50% of that debt. Is it equitable for me to be saddled with half of that debt? Well, what is the debt? Oh my gosh, golf clubs. Oh, he's the one that golfs. Car repairs. Oh, those were on his car. Oh, 4 vacations that we took as a family. Ouch, maybe I enjoyed that. Wait a second, there's all these gifts and hotels where he was traveling with his buddies and golfing around the country. Should I really have to pay for that? Now you hear why I say it all depends. Are there mistakes that you can avoid in the division of assets? Oftentimes I work with a party that's already been divorced. We call that post-judgment work. And the party will come to me and say, yes, I got divorced, X number of months ago or X number of years ago. And this is how we decided to divide the assets. So for instance, it might be something like deferred compensation or stock options, something that their spouse acquired during the marriage that's vesting on a date in the future, and now that spouse is receiving their equitable interest. But the settlement agreement, when written, didn't say, are we paying this on gross numbers? Are we paying it on net numbers? And from the time that the former spouse receives that money, how long do they have to turn over the other party's share of that money? That ambiguity in the agreement, gross dollars versus net dollars, and the time frame by which they have to make that payment are also important pieces, but often overlooked details in a settlement. Dividing marital property is usually the biggest component of a divorce. It's everything we acquire during the course of a marriage. And getting those numbers right is critical. Identifying the assets, equitably dividing them. but also dividing them in a financially and tax-effective manner is critical to both parties in the case. You need skilled lawyers that can help you navigate this process, as well as assist in vetting the right experts that can help you understand the assets on a deeper level.